daily dose of Big D energy.
Yo, 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 what's going on, buddy? Welcome back to another year of Big D Energy.
Big D!
Right here.
National Championship Edition, baby!
Right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal. Ruhl. That guy is D-Mac. We have Big Mike Gentry in the house. We have Spencer Raxter in the house. New year, new us. I don't know. That's what you're supposed to say.
Is that what it is?
I guess. I don't know.
Well, you know what? Small flex, Neal. 7 years ago today. Spenny, you'll appreciate this, so you can. This sort of goes out towards you. And why January 2nd? Because New Year's resolutions are supposed to be made on the 1st, but nobody tells D-Mac what to do, so I do it on my own time. Today's my 7-year anniversary of no cigarettes.
Oh, there you go,
Done
man.
smoking, and I know I'm proud of Spenny because Spenny's on.
He's in the fight.
He's in the fight. He got through. You got through the fight the other night over New Year's Eve, over the Christmas holidays. We talked about it before. Anybody who's trying to kick something or change something, the holidays are usually a tough time to do it. But you're sticking to your guns, bro, and I'm just proud of you. And that reminded me today, 7 years ago, the last cigarette I had.
Yeah. But yeah.
Way more other better things to smoke.
Yes.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah, baby!
Hey.
Thanks, Steve.
What are we going to talk about today?
You know,
Pistons yesterday.
Wherever you want to go.
They had the lead in the
Wings
first
are in
quarter.
San Jose tonight. West Coast swing starting off. Really, come on, man, let's go. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'll save my diatribe on the Lions for later because we should probably.
We're definitely going to get into it.
There's a couple things, and just everybody out there, and I think is handling it correctly. We saw what we saw. The whole world witnessed it, which is the best part. And moving forward, I believe that this is actually one of the greatest gifts that will come. We will look back to this because this is where it changes. In my opinion, I believe anyways, and I'll talk more when we get at it later on in the show.
Absolutely. Jump into that WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Get in there and get your thoughts in there, and we are doing it today. Kevin T, good morning. Ransom, we love Michigan. BD3 Thought Criminal. F the Cowgirls. Yes, we'll get to that. Machiavelli sucks to go. Michigan is overrated, Neal Ruhl. Andrew Klingerman, eat your words, Neal.
What do you mean eat your words? They finally did what we thought that they should do. Again,
right.
Don't get it twisted, right, Neal? Because Neal comes at you where he has higher expectations than a lot of the fan base does until now. But you're all congratulatory, right? You're all happy. Michigan finally got it done when
Survive in advance,
when they needed to. That's what good teams do. And yes, they didn't play their best game. They got to clean that up going into the finals. But that's what good teams do. When they don't have their best, they find a way to win. And that was, the signature win, obviously, of this program for as many years as I can remember. Because what is at stake now? They're not done. This reminds me.
Wait a minute.
This reminds me of the 1980 Winter Olympics when the USA beat Russia in the semifinals, but they weren't done. They still had to beat Finland in the finals, even though it was the Miracle on Ice and stuff like this. So maybe that's what Michigan, Jim Harbaugh and them should show them Miracle on Ice and show them that the job's not done. But everything I heard from them after the game and stuff like this, they're well aware.
No, and that's what it is. And through all this, and I know you guys are going to take this the way that you want to take it, but nothing has changed. The stakes are still the stakes. It was a nice win yesterday, no question about it. But if you don't cash it in, it doesn't matter. And I know that's hard to hear today, but my message is the same right now as it was back in August, in July, and when we talked about it. It's a all or nothing proposition. As good as it feels right now, go get your little Rose Bowl T-shirt, champion T-shirt. If you don't win next week, it doesn't matter. That's not moving the goalpost or anything. BMG, mark me on this right here.
No, they're going to win next week, but that win still definitely means a lot. You said Michigan wasn't SEC
not if
good.
you don't win.
You said it yourself. Michigan wasn't SEC good, and J.J. McCarty can't show up in big games. J.J. McCarty threw for 3 touchdowns, led them with 4 minutes left. Can't throw the ball downfield, had 2 30-yard passes on that drive, 15 yards on the ground, tapped it off with a touchdown. passing touchdown. They weren't SEC good, but they just beat an SEC team. So.
Right, but it doesn't matter if you don't win next week. And that's not moving the goalpost, Gentry. That's what it is, man.
You were moving the goalpost a little bit because you were talking all that shit that they were not SEC good, and they just dominated Bama.
Dominated?
Well, not dominated.
See, like this is the print spending. Here we go. They just dominated Bama. I know.
They had a bad second half, but for the first half, they had control of that game, and they won. So, it is what it is.
And they did win.
Moving the goalpost a little bit.
Spenny. Am I saying the same thing I said before?
You are saying that they need to win the championship, but you did say they weren't SEC good. Yeah. They were just Big Ten good.
Here,
and you said that JJ doesn't
Neal,
show up in big
I got
situations,
Bruder
and
giving
he
quotes
showed up.
in here. I just think they're going to lose. You give the best coach of college football a month. Neal, did you say that about Nick Saban?
That he is the best coach in college football?
And that if you give him a month, you thought
I did,
okay.
as everybody else in the world did.
Well, no, but I think we're just talking about you right now.
Right.
Right, but they
He is the best coach in college football.
But here's the whole thing: the underlying, right? Because they hadn't the whole thing. I get where you're coming from. Until you prove it to me that you can do it, when you haven't done it, I'm gonna be questionable, and that's where you were at.
And I still got questions.
Out. Now that they did it, which what they were
because
supposed
it all
to,
goes back to this, D-Mac, and I looked into this camera and said the exact same thing. If they do it, what can I say? Can't say anything.
No, you
but they
got to
haven't
give
done
them
it yet.
Congratulations in the fact that it doesn't matter how they got it done. They got it done.
Got it done.
All those
Survive in
things
advance.
that you thought, like, so. I mean, it's okay to be wrong in sports. It's at the time. Was that the type of game that you thought that would happen? And I don't think so, because you and I were talking earlier, and you thought really, right? I thought it was a game of who's trying to be the smartest guy in the room, right? Michigan not running it early, trying to, pass, especially early on and stuff like this. You look at when Alabama started dominating, getting their running game going, and then their offensive coordinator decided that wasn't good enough. So at the end of the day, they played the game. They found a way to win. It wasn't easy. They didn't play their best game, but they got it done. And that's all you can ask for.
No, because that's the nature of the sport now at this point. Where you're in. If you're in the playoff, you either win or you're done. And that's it, man. And they won. So they get another shot at it.
But how about this? But for the national two semifinal games, what a great two semifinal games. It's too bad it wasn't earlier.
Bro, why are we playing that game at 12:45 at night, man? Why is that game still going on?
I was falling asleep at the end of it.
So was I. I'm not going to lie to you,
and it
man.
was such a good game, too. And then if you didn't, when the running back went down for Washington, all that drama at the end, you thought absolutely was going towards Texas, and it looked like Washington, was falling apart. Guy gets injured. They got to call the timeout, gives some time on the clock. But, yeah, a lot of people. How many people actually watched it or had to catch up on the highlights? Because I'd be honest, I was in and out.
I was falling asleep, too, and I opened up the phone to see the end of it. And I just saw it on a box score, a live update. Because I couldn't make it anymore, man. WoodwardSports.com chat thread, jump into there. DNC ENT. Neal literally said on Thursday, beat Bama and I'm shutting up. Well, that's funny, DNC ENT, because I wasn't here on Thursday.
It was Wednesday. Was Wednesday. You did say beat Bama and I'll shut up, but it's fair.
Hey, hats off to Michigan fans, man. Hats off. You guys deserve it. You guys deserve your victory lap. Won the Rose Bowl. Run the Woes Bowl. Beat Bama. Did what you need to do. Now you're 1 away from an Eddie. So hats off to you guys. I still hate you, but you deserve to deserve to gloat. You deserve to have fun. You did it.
Respect, Spenny.
Yeah. I still hate you.
Respect. And Broder brings it up in here, and it's true, because for the most part, I think I'm and I guess I'm, being Canadian, I'm a fan of all Michigan sports, but I have always said that to me, the progress of winning the Rose Bowl, of beating the SEC, getting to the finals shows it, but that's not good enough for Michigan fans, because I don't see them resting on their laurels. It's natty or bust, and
100%.
That's the way it has to be. So hats off to all you Michigan fans. It's task at hand.
WoodwardSports.com chat there, the good senator. Just admit you are a bitch that has a golden voice, but not the brains to back it up.
That's a little aggressive.
That is a little aggressive.
What's your record? Get right.
where we are 52 and 21.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
We tend to be right. And, oh, by the way, we had Michigan in the game also.
of course.
100%.
What did you say earlier?
Emotional hedge.
Emotional hedge. That's right. We call that the brain, the head and the heart bet.
Yeah, absolutely.
The head and the heart.
But yeah, WoodwardSports.com. Rich Diana. Neal isn't anti-Michigan. He's anti-arrogance, and that's that's fair. Ransom also. Texas ran for 180 yards on Washington, and still lost. And that's true too. And look, guys, like I saw this on ESPN, and this I'm not having. And if Spenny tried to do this, I would shut it down. Like the whole talk about is the season tainted and all that stuff. Nope, not in the least, man. Because what do we say, D-Mac? At some point, you got to get in the weeds too, if you want to do that. I commend him for doing it.
And what's the thing you don't hear about? Right? There's no talk this morning or whatever. I saw one little tweet about, and then somebody was saying it like out of the side of their mouth as, I guess Michigan had Alabama's playbook. Right? But we don't hear anything about any scam because you went and you got it done against what arguably the best coach ever in college football. Up there on the Mount Rushmore, Nick Saban.
I do have the flannel celly that you weren't fond of.
Awful. You know what? Hey, and I'll tell you this. You're welcome, all you Michigan fans, because I know a little thing about karma. I left the live stream, but I cannot. Come on, man. The worst. The guy's had all his life. Like, oh, Jesus, Neal. Guys, am I right or am I wrong?
There was a lot of emotion go through.
Like, what is that?
Flannel runs off pure emotion. I will give it to him. Flannel runs off pure emotion. He just kind of lets his body flail. I'm not gonna critique the man. I would probably lose my mind too if it happened. So
Can we? Are we able to get a slow mo of that?
Hold on. So, Spenny, put the can. How do I? So, if he's gonna celebrate, right? I like it. He went sort of Roman Reigns like this, but you gotta pow it down. You gotta show the power that you own it. You don't go woo. You look like one of those wavy things out by the cell phone
the
store.
wacky waving and Phil Brown filling tube man.
God dang, it's flannel. You got to improve for next week, bro. Seriously. But I'm glad I could help. But dude, Neal, like seriously.
Was there an end of the game, Sally?
Yeah.
No, they can't be better than that.
No, it's not better than
Yeah.
that.
So can I get it, Spenny? Can I see it one more time, please?
I got you.
Please, please, can I see that one more time?
He's excited, man.
He is excited. Live your best life.
He said
People
it
in the-
he
people
said
in
it was
the-
one of the best days of his life.
Yeah,
Hey,
people-
it's only
people in the
because I
chat.
care. I want him to be better.
Yeah.
I want him to enjoy it. I told him he should be like cockwalking this whole week.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He should, like, you know what? Now's not the time to be quiet. Now's the time to get on your perch and cock-a-doodle-doo, buddy.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Get off Sam Flannel, everybody.
Yeah.
Come on, emotion overtook.
He deserved
Come and
it.
make me.
Emotion overtook the man. But yeah, we're gonna get into it certainly as the week goes on. The national championship game.
John Farshan said I would hate to see him dance. Flannel dancing is a sight to behold. It's one of my favorite things.
All upper body, I
Yeah,
bet.
a lot of upper body, a lot of flailing limbs. I
Yeah.
love flannel. Flannel's the man.
No, everybody get off Sam Flannel. And he's got to fire up the engines and do it again next
Oh,
Monday.
yeah, dude. Oh, and he's ready for it.
He's
Yeah.
gonna be ready.
And
They were downtrodden. I opened the stream when it was like 20-17 or 20-13, and they were like not saying. I was like, guys,
Dude,
there's
it was,
still like,
I know.
I was like, there's still like 8 minutes left. Like the game's not over, you guys. But it worked out.
No, it did. So yeah, we'll get into it. But speaking of emotional, when we come back, we're going to get into the events of Saturday night. We are getting into it.
Perfect.
1,000,000,100,000,000,000%. Just like if you got to get into a haircut. 1,000,000,000,100%. Where should you go?
I absolutely do, and you know where I'm going. You can go to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for award-winning haircut experience, and also register for the trip of your dreams. All expenses paid. Suite to the 2024 NCAA basketball tournament. That's right, no expense spared for you and 5 of your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Dreaming of buying a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
We're off and running here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Happy New Year, everybody. Neal, Ruhl, D-Mac, Big Mike Gentry, Spencer Raxter here with you. Hope everybody had a great holiday celebration, but the grim reality is it's over. It's back to work now, and here we go. And we won't see the sun again. Today's, we got the sun a little bit. We won't see it again, though, until April. This is what it is. And there's one more college football game left, and that is sad. But for Michigan fans, they are happy. Let me tell you who wasn't happy on Saturday night. And D-Mac, I'll start with me, because I told you before the show. So I was away for work. We were in Youngstown. Big win over Youngstown, by the way, on the road Sunday. Saturday night, we're at the hotel bar in the Marriott in Youngstown. Locked in. I was locked into the game. And it was, when you work in this business, sometimes this gets taken away from you, where you get to be 100% emotionally invested and be a fan, like a flat-out fan. And D-Mac, Saturday night, I was locked in, and I can't describe the feeling I had at the end of that football game. And look, there's all kinds of subsets that we can get into, the game itself, but I will say this. We all know what happened. We all know the Detroit Lions won the football game. They did. I saw it. A lot like Reggie Bush winning the Heisman. I saw it. You can never take that away. They won that football game. Period. End of story. Now, it doesn't count in the standings. And D-Mac, to have that ripped away, that shook me to the core, D-Mac, as a fan that I have not been shooken to in a very, very long time. And D-Mac, I know everyone's going to talk about, and I know how you are. And this is where you have the advantage because you're an ex-professional athlete. You have that ability to where you can say, all right, we go back to work today, we move on. I will not be able to move on from this for a couple days.
Dude.
I will not.
This is like, now that sort of the smoke settled and everything like that, I believe that this is the greatest blessing. What usually happens, and let's go back to other games, right? Let's go back to the other Dallas game, the playoffs, pass interference, stuff like that, right? Arguable. You could say, well, it's your Lions fandom, and it could go this way. What happened on Saturday night, being the only game in front of the whole world watching that, is we saw the Detroit Lions get screwed. So if anybody doesn't know SOL, or if they think to whatever else, this is worldwide. If I'm Dan Campbell what's your reaction going into the dressing room? How do you address your team after the game? You know how I walk in and address the team? I look around the room to everybody who's so pissed off because this is a vulnerable truth with integrity when you're talking about rules and how you supposedly done it, everything right. And if I'm Dan Campbell, I just look and go, it's the only way they can get us, boys. And I laugh. And I go, because everybody else saw it. I mentioned to you earlier, You got Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp, two guys in this media world that threw away millions of dollars on a TV show because they hate each other, agreeing. Skip Bayless being the biggest cowboy sloppy maybe out there, right? So we just got to be quiet. You got to let your play speak for yourself. Now you let that burn, and you know that it is Detroit versus everybody, Detroit versus the whole world to whatever else, right? There's nothing you can do about it except laugh. The beauty of it, Neal, is thank God it happened in a game, right? That the biggest thing was it might have cost you another the number 2 seed, right? This is just going to motivate your players. And the one thing that I told you when I came in, and have we heard from Sheila at all?
No.
Because I thought this would be the perfect time for Sheila to come out and just sort of have everybody's back, but just like, this ain't, hey, you used to do this to my dad and you used to do this, but this ain't the same old Lions, right? We aren't the same old Lions. You're going to operate us with respect. And I mean, as far as I would love it if she called Jerry Jones out for a death match in the middle of AT&T Stadium. I'd be there for her, but again, I digress. But the fact is, like, this would be a perfect time for her to come out and say something, because Jerry Jones comes out and says something stupid like, oh, that was the best officiated game and stuff like this.
Yeah, that was so trash.
So trash. But here's the thing, Neal, on that front, look at the NFL, right? As far as they'll never admit their mistake, but they, now they go and downgrade this Brad Allard, who is the referee that messed it up. The last thing I'm going to say on this, the thing that bothers me the most, right? I can understand if it's something where he messes up because the guy's reporting on the field and stuff like this. But Dan Campbell, and you told me that this happens in all sports and whatever. If you're going to do a trick play or something, you've told the ref exactly what's going to happen if we have a 2-point conversion and we go to this formation. It's Decker's going to look for this. So he's already had that. So to me, it's negligence of integrity of the game.
And that's it. And
the integrity of the game is why you have a problem. So, yeah, it bothers me. But the whole thing is that I think with this regime and everything that's happened to Dan Campbell and what they preach, right? Look at every post game. Right? You're resilient, man. You fight through it. I mean, you're a heck of a team. I mean, you play for each other. No better time than now. So this will galvanize them, Neal.
I don't take any comfort in that, D-Mac. I don't. And Jake Wagner, I want to address this one here. I thought, Neal, you were a never put it on the ref's mistakes you should have overcome. No, Jake. Because here's the difference. This isn't a mistake. This is incompetence at your job.
Yep.
That's what's different about it. It's not a mistake. It's not doing your job. That's my problem with it. Because the Lions did everything right, and because of the incompetence of one person, they get penalized for it. That's the thing that hurts me. Because at this level, in this game, and look, I know how we are as a society right now. Like, we beg for accountability until it's us that makes a mistake. Then we ask for forgiveness. At that level, no. That's the ultimate level in the world, in the game of football. We can't have that. You can't have that. You can't have that mistake from somebody. You can't have it. And if you do, you are not able to do that job. I'm sorry. And my problem with all this is very, very simple. In college sports, last night, Alabama football players have to go to a microphone and explain what happened. Texas football players have to go to a microphone. Kids, a 19-year-old freshman, has to sit there and face the world. And this referee, this NFL referee, gets to hide and not have to account and not have to say, this is what happened. And then the league's not going to come out and say, hey, that's an egregious mistake. We can't have it. Sorry, we're moving on from this guy. No. We ask a 19-year-old kid to do this in sports, and a grown man gets to hide. That's my problem with it, Jake. That's my problem. It's not a ref's mistake. It's incompetence at what you do. That's the difference in this. And that's why I'm angry about it, and I will not let it go. And D-Mac, going back to what you just said, here's my problem. I agree, right? And I even said this in a tweet Saturday night. I feel better about the Detroit Lions now as a team than I did at 8:14 p.m. Saturday night. That's fine. But here's the difference. That's an 8-point swing when they play that game right now. Look at what the line will be and think about what the line would be if they played it at Ford Field. That's a touchdown. In the NFL, it's hard to overcome. It's a one-score league, right?
Right.
It's hard to overcome that. It just is. There are far, long-lasting implications to this that will never sit with me. I watched them win that game, D-Mac. I watched them win it. And because someone's incompetent at what they do, they get marked for a loss for it. And that will never sit with me, ever.
There's a difference between the human error of making a call, whether it's a holding or a pass. I mean, you can break down. You should have been a pass interference call on Amon St. Brown. Before that, that's the diligence. You're talking about integrity. Pretty much what you're saying is that if this referee was a doctor, people would have died because of his incompetence.
Exactly. I'm not saying it's life or death. It's
that's
a football
the
game.
gravitas. If you're saying about being accountable to your job, this is accountability to your job. Like the structure of the game. Loose. It's the same thing as we talk about, loose, not loose ball fouls, but, before the penalties before the ball snapped. The referees can't make that penalty, just like when we can't go out, illegal formation or stuff like this. It's because it's the incompetence and then the fact that you don't have to be accountable, Neal. That's what hurts. But again, like you said, how's it gonna affect Allen Park and these Detroit Lions? I feel the same way as you do. They're stronger as a team, even more so than they were going into that game.
No, and that's where it was, and that's what was going through my veins at the end of that football game on Saturday. And when we come back, I do want to get into the game stuff. I do, because there were some things I saw. I want to talk about the decision-making process. I want to talk about the end of the game. I want to talk about the scenarios. I got a question for Spenny when we come. This is deep, everybody. We're going deep into this one. And then also, too, the playoff fallout and everything like that, because there is a part of me that likes the road now, that backs up to your point. I do kind of like the way it looks like it's going to go down, and we're going to talk about that when we come back. But after I tell you about Hamlin Pub, I'm sure some of you were out there watching the game at Hamlin Pub on Saturday night, and why not? They have the game day specials for every NFL game and Michigan sports at all times. I love it. Go to HamlinPubs.com. They have 7 Metro Detroit locations. We have all of our fantasy drafts there. Oh, by the way, the fantasy Venmo hit. That's always nice when that happens.
I lost in the championship. Guy put up 180 points. I put up 140.
I had CeeDee Lamb and lost.
Wow.
Because he had Harrison Butker.
Oh, yeah.
Spencer, fun fact, I won the Woodward League.
Nice.
The no fun league.
No, the fraud league.
Yeah. But hey, if you were keeping track of your fantasy teams at Hamlin Pub, you were having a good time because they do have the game day specials as we talked about. Go to HamlinPubs.com. It's Hamlin Pub, where everyone's a regular.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Neal Ruhl here for Feldman Automotive Group. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations in the Metro Detroit area, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Go to feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you, and of course the flagship Feldman Chevrolet in Novi. They are Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer. We'll be out there every other Monday as it moves on live from Feldman Chevrolet in Novi. The Feldman Advantage, guys, that's where it's at. It's so easy. Sam Flannel bought a car from them. I'm sure he probably, pumped his fist in the showroom when it was all done like that, as we saw. But again, go to feldmanauto.com today. All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl and D-Mac and Spencer Raxter. And, of course, we have Big Mike Gentry. Lone Spoon 77. Neal not saying much about Michigan winning because he's too busy moving the goalpost. No, Lone Spoon, we went over that already. Big Cuz, Neal don't want to be wrong about Michigan being the best. All right, you know what? Hey, let me congratulate you guys on your national championship you won yesterday. Congratulations. When do the T-shirts go on sale, Mike Gentry?
The Rose Bowl ones?
No, the national champ. They won the national title yesterday.
They'll probably be on sale next week.
Really? Why are they waiting so long? They won the Natty yesterday. They're missing an opportunity.
I think they just want some credit for beating Alabama after he said Michigan's not SEC good.
Okay.
Right.
Credit for beating Alabama.
All right.
You got to finish the job.
No, that's fair. And I've always said that.
You got to finish the job, or guess what? You're the second best team in the Big Ten.
They'll finish. Just like I said, they'll finish against Alabama.
Okay. Remember last time y'all played Michael Penix?
Different times.
I'm just saying.
Penix
Different
is a great
D.
quarterback. I'm not selling anything.
Different
That
defense.
defensive line looked pretty damn good against Bama.
And their secondary.
Yeah.
Listen, and their secondary. The one thing that I like in going into the game is that what do we know about Milroy? He can't throw short, but he can throw deep. And every time he threw deep, even at the end when it was the 3rd and 14 in overtime, there's a blue jersey right there. They can run with them and stuff like this. I know Washington's got 3 NFL draft-eligible wide receivers, and Michael Penix is wheeling it, but I like where we're at. I think that Michigan matches up.
Oh, they're a 5-point favorite.
Right. But Spenny, you saw, and I think that, hats off to Jesse Minter. We saw some of that NFL experience in some of those schemes. So they know that they have to get after Penix. They know that Penix gets the ball out as quick as anybody.
Yeah.
So, but I like the athletic ability and the speed and what I saw from Michigan on defense that they can match up against them. So, yeah, get the job done. So you think 5 is where it should be at?
I'm surprised it's not a little higher.
Okay.
I think it will be by the time they kick it off. I think it'll get
They'll
higher.
probably go up a couple points.
Yeah,
for sure.
I would imagine it closing around 6.
Yeah, 5,
somewhere around 6. That's where I think. Tremat, Neal, the last time Michigan played Washington, they destroyed them. Right, that team that lost to Montana at home, that Washington team that then fired their coach. And oh, by the way, where's Kalen DeBoer from?
I don't know.
Is that a loaded question?
No.
Oh, where's he from?
I'm sorry, Washington's coach, not Kalen DeBoer. I'm sorry. Why am I spacing out on it?
Washington's head coach?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It is. Let me see. Yeah, Kalen DeBoer. Where did he come from, by the way?
I have no clue.
Alabama.
Mountain West. Fresno State.
Fresno. Oh,
Damn,
wow.
Well,
Bringing it. So there's always Mountain West in there somewhere, a little sprinkled flavor.
that's what I'm saying. Mountain West, stand up, represent. So there is that one as well. But yeah, we're talking Detroit Lions right now, and I gave my diatribe on it. Subscribe to the podcast if you want to go back.
I got Kevin Hill. I don't remember seeing your WoodwardSports.com chat, but thanks for joining us. This is the one thing, and I'm wondering this too, because everything's mic'd, right? And he says head official is mic'd. Where's the audio evidence? Release the audio. Will it come out? NFL films, they have everything mic'd and audio and stuff. Is at any point do you think that it will come out? Because I don't. You know that they have it.
Oh, it's not coming out.
No, but it won't.
Jerry
do you
Jones
think it'll
already
ever come
paid
out?
for those tapes to get done.
to cover their own ass, they're going to make sure that doesn't get out.
Those have been mutilated.
Yes.
I made the joke. You should. I don't know if it's a joke, but check Brad Allard, the ref's bank account, and see if we got a Donahue situation.
No, but okay. So we kind of spoke the piece on that. I do want to talk about the game itself, right? And one of the reasons that I said that I felt better about the Lions at 12:30 a.m. on Saturday than it did at 8:14 p.m. on Saturday was because if you look at what happened to them and, the Cowboys popping the big play, getting the 90-plus yard touchdown, and it was right there for Derek Barnes, and it slipped through his fingers, and he didn't, he wasn't able to make the play. Going through all that on the road against Dallas, and then having the football under 2 minutes to go, having to have a touchdown, and then going down and getting it, D-Mac. There's nothing else you can say about the Lions team. They won in Kansas City. Dallas is maybe the toughest environment to play on in the road in the NFL right now. The record dictates it. They've won, 16 in a row or whatever it is. And they won there, too. Don't get it twisted. They won there. But they went down the field and did what they had to do, D-Mac. I have even more resolve about this Lions team now than I did early in the season, than I did Tuesday, than I did Saturday before they kicked off the football, D-Mac. I don't know if this is emotion or what, but they showed me more resilience. They showed me the ability to do it. There isn't a tougher environment to do that in than what they did.
Oh, it's the resilience that they showed. And I'm watching the chat thread, Goff 2 interception, Goff suck. Guys, if other teams get pressure on your quarterback, he's not going to be good. But when you protect him, right, and you scheme, and at the end of the day, isn't this the league about just get it done at the right spots? So I'm looking at it, do I think Jared Goff will clean it up, right? The next game's at home. First playoff games at home. He's got to clean it up. Is anybody here think that Jared Goff can play the same and us be successful, or does he have to be better? And better by not turning the ball over, better by protecting the ball, and right? Exactly. That's the Jared Goff that we need. But still, you look at it in that environment, what do you expect? That stuff's going to happen. They're going to have breakdowns, and unfortunately, but they were able to still be in the game and give themselves an opportunity to win. When they needed to score at the most important time, they did, right? They did. I mean, here's the thing: is anybody, and I see a couple people talking about it, but no one's pissed off that they continued to go for 2, even after the penalty and then the offside and stuff like that, right? I see a couple people say, "Oh, they should have kicked the field goal, go to overtime." No. Foot on the gas, and yes, arguably a better throw or a half a second more. Mitchell catches that, the pass is on target. But it's something that when you try these things with the resiliency that you don't go away, and the fact that you don't fold your tent, and the fact that you have 2 interceptions early and it doesn't look good, that you're able to find a way. That's what you want. That's what the NFL is all about. Look at the best quarterbacks in this league, or we consider the best quarterbacks in this league. Do they not struggle at different times but find a way to win? That's what we have here, and that's what we got to hope. So, yes, Goff has to be better. He's got, he's one of the guys that has to have, if he's like flawless or has an impeccable game where we're saying, oh, he was great, what usually happens? We win.
And, Spenny, that's where I go to you. Did it show you something? Did it show you something?
I mean, we've seen Goff do it before. He went down the field against Chicago when you needed him, and he won twice to score and win the game. And he did it against the Cowboys. He drove him down the field, got him in the end zone, got the 2-point conversion, and they won the game. So we'll see what happens. But I mean, I still don't like the 2 interceptions. Those were, I did say it on the stream. Like, I could just completely blame Goff for those because both of the throws could have been to the sideline more. But they made great defensive plays on those balls. They were behind the receivers, but the cornerbacks both made great plays to go out there and get those interceptions. But yeah, we'll see what happens going forward. But he's proven that he can take the team down the field and punch it in the end zone when they need to.
And that's fair, and you're a reasonable man.
Yeah.
We're supposed to argue here, Spenny.
Yeah, I mean, he did it. Like I said, he did it against Chicago, did it against Dallas. So hopefully he can do it if they need to in the playoffs.
Catspot says Dallas is not a tough environment. Well, I mean, 15 teams in a row couldn't win there. And there's added things that you go up
like
against
the
when you're in
refereeing
Dallas.
and all that stuff.
You know, there's other things that you there's other things that you
Hey Neal, like here's
go up against.
Here's the whole thing, and I see it a little bit about, you know, when we got the penalty and pushed back to the 8, like DNC and Teal, we should have taken it and gone to overtime. Do you not think that Dan Campbell's sitting on the sideline with Aaron Glenn going, we can't go to overtime because we have no way to stop CeeDee Lamb? So would you have rather them, like maybe that's the question, would you have rather them kick the field goal and then taking their chances in overtime? Because I don't think in that situation on the road where if you lose, the worst case is that you might not get the 2 seed, but you still have home field advantage. I think that's the gamble that you're taking.
Steve O'Baby. Neal, I'm sorry, but I'm getting sick and tired of people blaming the refs in a loss as a loss. People should be happy the Lions are in the playoffs. Well, Steve O'Baby, they were already in the playoffs before this went down.
Yeah.
That was already locked in.
Mm-hmm.
And they did the job. And yes, referee incompetence, not a mistake, incompetence.
Malfeasance.
An inability to do your job correctly. And right, we all want accountability, right? That's what we say on social media all the time. We all want accountability. Where's the accountability? And Steve O'Baby, that's what's really got me going here about this. There's no accountability. Again, we ask a 19-year-old kid in college sports to stand in front of the world, and you get to say, what happened? Tell us what happened. Why did you make that mistake? Chris Webber, going back to the Fab Five, Chris Webber had to sit there on that stage after he called a timeout they didn't have and basically lost his team the game. Chris Webber had to sit on that stage and answer. Where's the referee? Where's the accountability? He's a grown man.
Here's the question, right? Does this the straw that breaks the camel's back to officially hire? Because they're part-time guys. The league that the sport that controls this country,
yeah.
right? This guy, I can't say the world because soccer's bigger, right? Over in Europe.
Well,
but this,
yeah.
but for argument's sake, that do not have referees as employees. They're part-timers. So where's the accountability there? Does this move the needle at all, or a conversation to finally get them full-time?
No, I don't. D-Mac, I don't even care about that. An NFL referee makes about $200,000 a year. You make about $12,000 per game. You make about $200,000 a year. How about you just have to be good in order to continue doing it? How about that? Again, where is the accountability? You're clearly not good at what you do. I'm sorry. It sucks. I hate to do this. But here's the tape of you not being good enough to do this at this level. Sorry. Go to the MHSAA. We'll see you at Madison Heights High School next season.
Madison popped us my senior year.
Damn.
Yeah, it was bad. They beat us by like 30. It's tough.
That's tough, man.
Yeah.
Sorry to bring up old wounds there, man.
It's all right.
My bad about it. Hey, you can feel better about yourself and get you some good deals on some pet supplies.
Yeah, you know, if you're going to do that, there's only one place you should go, and that is Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best with Premier Pet Supply. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences of online and big box retailers, with one major difference: family and locally owned and operated for 30 plus years. Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside and home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best at www.premierpetsupply.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Just in time for football, Glorious Cannabis is dropping a new ice water bubble hash-infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good, like the whiff of the first playoff win. Yes, in 31 years. A gassy, aggressive strain named in honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you are missing out. BMG tells me they are so smooth. Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off. Code word Woodward Glorious. Get it before the national championship game so you can enjoy it. Go to www.gloriouscanna2ns.com.
Keeping it pushing, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl and Darren McCarty, and Big Mike Gentry and Spencer Raxter. Heavyweights today, 5 to 7.
Check it out.
Check it out. Get in there. Be curious to see how Spenmo and Easy represent on that one.
It's going to be a good show.
I bet it will be. WoodwardSports.com chat thread, jump into their burn. It's worse because this crew has botched several calls this season. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The one silver lining is that we got them kicked out of the playoffs.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, but,
Fuck those bums.
doesn't help.
Brad Allen should be ashamed of themselves. Fucking loser.
What's the accountability, right?
None.
It's like, but that's what makes it worse. When you don't think you did something wrong, or you know what I'm saying, and you're holding to it. It's like, come on, dude.
Joe Lowry. I do want to say this, too. You know what I really liked, what I saw about the Lions defense? Because we talked about this. I brought this up a couple weeks ago. Remember when we were talking about the blitzes are never getting home? And then they kind of changed up to more exotic blitz packages where they're bringing in safeties, they're bringing in corners, and it really hit the Broncos out of left field. I liked the way, too, on Saturday night, they moved Hutchinson around. I don't know if you guys caught this at all, but they brought him from the inside. They changed the locations where he was going to be at, and they really got exotic with stunts. Aaron Glenn really has emptied out the playbook defensively. He is, like people say, where are the adjustments? What are you changing? Something's got to change. That was the other angle about it. I felt further solidified about Jared Goff because of what he did. I felt a lot better, even as good as I felt about that Lions defense on Saturday.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what you want, right? Where that's sort of been not the Achilles heel, but the question mark all year, and it seems like they're getting stronger. Obviously, anytime Hutch gets home, 3 times or stuff like this, but I like the way that they were using them. So hopefully, what it showed is something new, maybe some new wrinkles that they can put in moving forward. But you got it. Everybody should be happy with the way that the defense, other than, elephant in the room, right? Which I hope C.J. Gardner-Johnson coming back will help and stuff like this. But we CeeDee Lamb went off, right? CeeDee Lamb went off. Do you have the answer for that number one receiver on the other team?
Dude, CeeDee Lamb's a star, man. He gets taken in the first round of your fantasy draft. He's a good player.
He's one of the ones that you have to contain. And you still gave up 200 and some yards to him, and arguably should have won the game.
Yeah, he's a star, dude, flat out. He is. So
you're going to make adjustments to that, but you're going to accept that when everything else is sort of working. So I like the fact that we're not resting on our laurels, right? Aaron Glenn trying new things, moving Hutch around, and it seemed to work.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Chuck Brewer says, Neal, is it possible that the kids are now getting versed enough in the defense that AG can now do things like this? And Chuck, that's a great point. And I told you guys a couple weeks ago that, when we were talking about the JMO thing, and I should have been smarter than this. I should have been able to see this coming, where we saw it with Jahmyr Gibbs. We see the same playbook all the time, do we not? Mm-hmm. We saw it with Jahmyr Gibbs. We've seen it with Jamison Williams. And Chuck, why would that be any different defensively? That's a great question you ask, because I think there is something to that. That the Lions bring their rookies in along on almost like a plan, it seems like. And it's never enough for us because we always want to see it more. We always want to see more of them. We want to see it right away. But that's not reality. That's not the way reality works, especially in the NFL. You see this a lot in the NHL, D-Mac, where you look at like a Connor Bedard who is coming along, and you see flashes of it all the time. And in 2 years, he's going to be a problem in the NHL.
If you're talking about a young guy like a Jack Hughes, you see the evolve, and it's a younger player's game too. And a lot of times too, when let's look back, right? These are all of these guys, right? What we mentioned with Brad Holmes, find their way into the lineup, but there's a game plan, and the game plan is for now, right? It all plays out, and Dan Campbell pretty much has come out and said that. Right? Because they got to earn the trust, and they got to do it first in practice and become part of the herd. And to Jahmyr Gibbs, when was his coming out party? When we needed it the most, when David Montgomery was down. So, you know what? I think that they're coming into their own, both offensively and defensively, like all together. Like, you got to sort of like what you see. Now, the biggest question mark, right, is protecting your quarterback. And giving him, that opportunity to make, if he can make the play and doesn't have to step up and move around and stuff like that, you got a great chance to win.
Yeah, Graham Glasgow's had a rough run lately, Spenny. Mm-hmm. He's had some rough moments out there. Jonah Jackson
Jonah had a bad game.
Yes.
So did Taylor Decker.
Yeah, it wasn't very clean. But through all that, though, inside 2 minutes to go, they went right down the field and got a 2-point conversion and got the win. They did. I watched it.
No, you can say they got the 2-point conversion and lost.
I watched it. It's like Reggie Bush with the Heisman. Reggie Bush still got the Heisman. I watched it.
Reggie Bush.
I watched it happen. But no, Chuck, getting back to it though, that's on us. Like, we should see that that's the playbook. And when you boil it all down, that's why the Lions are good now and they were shitty before. Because they take players in the draft, they have a plan, they work the plan, and they develop their rookies to the point where they contribute. It's a really wild formula. And it's still taking time for us to adjust to it, I think.
Well, is that not what we're seeing, too, with the development, like, on defense, more and more, like the Jack Campbells, making like the development, right? There is development. That's something too, right? So not only winning and coaching, but this coaching staff is developing these football players. Are they not? Like, is there regression? I'm sure you pick on a couple players because there's always a couple that either peter off or plateau. But for the most part, you look at the young guys and the guys that we're talking about, the guys that are supposed to step up in key moments, they're getting the job done.
Todd Saint says Decker has to have some nagging injury. They all do. Like at this point, they all do.
Yeah, they're probably at the most 80%.
How healthy were you at the end of February in an NHL season if you played the whole time?
Yeah, 85, maybe. Yeah, you're going into the playoffs probably around. If you can be 90%, you're killing it. But you're usually because dude, and that's why you don't report injuries. But as a team, you go to the finals, and so it's a little bit different also too because you look at for the way that we went to the finals. I mean, I think Nick Lidstrom played 400 and some games over 4 seasons, including exhibition and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? That's just a unbelievable ton of games, right? So it's just more the wear and tear, and that's where it's so important to know what you need to be ready to play the game. And I think that's what we're getting to with these guys.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. I see Catspot talking about a bad game plan from the defense that, only gave up 20 points to Dallas, with a 92-yard touchdown pass in the mix in that too. You held the team to 20 points in a place where they've won 15 games in a row.
And averaged 30+.
Yeah, your defensive game plan was good. Come on, Catspot. Like, let's live in reality here, my guy. Like, there's no other way to say that. Lunchbox Hooligans. Hey, Neal, Sewell had Parsons in a phone booth again. And that's why
they had to move him against Decker.
That was my one regret, that I couldn't, lock in. And I was going to ask you about this, Spenny. Do we have the Spencer Raxter Parsons v. Sewell report?
Yeah, he was in a bread box, and he was talking shit, and he was scared, and he ran away from him. Penny Sewell's the man.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Hey, I've been saying it for a year now. Start doing the gold jacket now. Stay out in front of inflation. Yesterday's prices are not today's prices as far as the gold jacket material is. That dude is goated, bro. And he's the one that changed it all. He flat out, he was the one.
I don't understand Brandon Katz's logic. Lamb fumbled on the 2-yard line. Dallas would have easily scored 27. Yeah, and Derek Barnes missed a safety. Dallas easily wouldn't have scored that touchdown,
Right.
and Detroit would have had 2 more points. So, if ifs and buts was candies and nuts, we'd all have Merry Christmas. My grandmother had wheels, she would have been a bike.
Man had balls, she'd be mom.
That's not what happened, man.
Absolutely. Jay Singles, Panay got in his head. You could tell.
Yeah, he did.
Panay Sewell. I love it.
So, like, I know we got to go to break,
Yeah.
but if we're going to talk about, you know, my question is that if you put yourself in that locker room as one of those players, any one of those players, come back, like, how are you feeling going into practice this week and coming back and whatever? Once you get that pissed off, you almost feel invincible. You almost feel like invincible because of what you sort of did accomplish, and you know what? It was only those factors that could do it. Like, I guarantee, and it'll be interesting because, you know, and I see Broder in the chat, but what's the vibe at practice? Is it, you know, going to the last game of the season, and it's a home game and stuff like this, is there this pissed off mentality? Like
There better be.
They're no, well, but it's, you don't have to force it. You can feel, you'll be able to feel that vibe at practice when it's there. If these guys are like, there's a different kind of pissed off, Neal. Does that make sense? Like
100%.
like this confidence, like almost invincibility to the fact that you're Teflon. That how can I get hurt even more than what just happened?
Neal Ruhl here for Planet Fitness. We're live at the Planet Fitness Studios. As you guys know, it's home of the judgment-free zone where anyone can work on their fitness goals and feel comfortable. You can experience a squeaky clean gym with tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There's over 50 of them in the Metro Detroit area alone. There's over 2,400 of them across the world. You guys know where I stand with it. They're goated in the gym game. I've been a member there for 3 years. I'll never be a member at another gym. Why would I? Planet Fitness is the best one going, the best price, all of it. Go to planetfitness.com. You can join there. Pull in the parking lot of one. You'll pass one on the way home. You can join there. It's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new Down Home Comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The Down Home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of Down Home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with the best prime beef, the best Wagyu beef, and of course the best dry-aged beef in the world. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods. You can get grab-and-go steaks there. Guys, I've done this before. Took the ribeye from there, brought it home, seasoned it up, threw it on the grill. The very best ribeye I've ever grilled in my life, and it came from Fairway Packing Company. Go online, visit them, fairwaypacking.com today.
I'm good. I woke up yesterday. I'm ready, man. I've got controlled fury, and I'm ready to go. I'm absolutely ready to go. I don't go the other way. So, and the team won't either. We're on a mission, and we're not going to feel sorry for ourselves and wallow in everything. We had plays to make, we didn't make them. And it's a tight game, a good opponent, playoff type atmosphere, and you got to make that one extra play that we didn't. And so we will use this as fuel. I got pure octane right now. I woke up, I'm ready. So we're moving forward.
Man,
let's go.
That reminds me of somebody I know.
I'm out. We're tired. Oh, this is day off today. They're lucky. I'd be down there. Let's go.
Coming up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Big Mike Gentry, Spencer Raxter as well. And, of course, that was Dan Campbell. And it does seem pretty simple. And, look, I'm not ready to move on yet. And if you missed that, subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast. You can go back. I have my diatribe about the whole referee situation. I have a feeling you'll be able to see it on the Woodward Sports social media outlets later on as well. But I'm not the coach, and Dan Campbell is. And, D-Mac, that's the difference I was talking to you about earlier. You're an ex-professional athlete. Dan Campbell, obviously an NFL coach, this is your DNA. This is where you live. I've always commented on that. You never blame officials. You never do. And that's something where, like when I've talked with Braylon Edwards, the same way. He knows the score.
You know what? In this case, though, this is different because it's incompetence. It's not I missed a call or I didn't see it the same way.
And that's where it's extra for me.
That's why, because my heart virtue, which makes me tick. Everybody has a heart virtue, which makes them tick. Mine is, and through 4 rehabs and everything, I realized mine. Vulnerable truth with integrity. That is why it pisses me off, because that's a vulnerable truth, where it's the logistics behind the play, that the incompetence of doing your job, not your opinion, right? Where I can accept it as a player when you say I didn't see it or I missed it or whatever like that, or I didn't see it that way. Oh, the guy got his stick up. He didn't hit you, or it was intentional. I'm not calling it, right? You have to accept those things as the game goes on. This wasn't as the game was going on. And the preparation involved. Like I said, the biggest thing is I get upset is because Dan Campbell told you before the game what exactly would happen, right? So there should not be any communication breakdown or incompetence to a dead ball. That's the biggest thing. So I do have a problem this time. Why I don't have a problem is because I got controlled fury too, and the coach and everybody else moving forward. And you know what? We don't have to say anything. Let the rest of the league, rest of the world, everybody else who watched Saturday night NFL game, the only game that saw, oh wow, maybe what Detroit's talking about, yeah, they did get screwed, and maybe in the past maybe it is something like that. They are the doormat of the league. But not anymore. So controlled fury is something that I love to hear. I believe everything that man says as far as my team, or we don't go backwards. And you know what? Look at the accountability. We didn't make those plays. We didn't make enough plays, right? If we make that play at the end and Stafford makes that pass to Mitchell, which was a great play call, just a lack of execution, then we're not even talking about this. And probably the refs get off the hook. And you probably have to face them again in the playoffs. So, dude, there's your commander-in-chief, and that's everything as a player gets me fired up for, and because you know what did he say? We're responsible for losing. That's a playoff team, that's a good team and whatever, and we didn't make enough plays. They made one more than us, and we're not making excuses.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, get into there, get your thoughts out there as well. I do want to talk about the end of the game, though. And where I was watching the game, for those of you that missed it, I was in Youngstown for work. I was in a hotel bar at the Marriott. There's probably about 15, 20 people in there watching the game. Couple, us, my contingent, and then there was a few people who were Lions fans there as well. And I want to talk about the 2-point thing specifically, because as soon as they scored, I kind of jumped up out of my seat and said, "Go win the game." Go win the game right now. Now, some of the other Lions fans that were in the room said no, they wanted to kick the extra point and take their chances in overtime. And I said, bro, 6 feet to win the game.
Yeah.
If I told you on Saturday at noon, I said, tonight I'll give you one play, 2 yards to win the game.
Me and Booner said it on the watch party. We're like, if they go down there and score, they should go for 2. But then after that happened with the refs and they got backed up and they got 2 more chances, I was like, all right, just kick the extra point. Like, you got a chance, just kick the extra point. Roll your dice on the coin flip.
I have no problem with it because he's weighing what it means to go in there on the road in Dallas, and like if you do execute it. Now, it's apples and oranges, right? I go either way if he decided that okay, we are going to kick this, but I thought him and AG were like, we can't stop CeeDee Lamb. So you know what? This is our best chance. 6 feet with our offense, our offensive line being what it is. I have no problem with the call.
Yeah, and I think
in the playoffs he kicks it. Right?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
All right.
And I don't have and even if he doesn't, this is what got, because people were feeling themselves about the fake punt, right? Everybody loved it. When it works, you love it.
Yep.
And when it doesn't, you hate it. Mm-hmm. And look, I thought going for it from the 7, and this is where, I pride myself on not giving into emotion and stuff like that. On that one, I kind of stepped into the analytics world, and I was like 7. I was like, okay, you say so. You know what I did when they went for it from the 7? I didn't like it per se. I didn't necessarily agree with it, but I didn't agree with Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell either, and here we are.
Listen,
you know
I'm rolling with Dan Campbell. Good, bad, right, wrong, or indifferent. And here's the whole thing. You want to go back and somebody bring up the 4th down going for it execution because it's not clicking at the same rate as it was either last year or earlier in this year. So if you have that question mark, but again, I'm all in with what he wants to do because this is his team. These are his guys. They're all in it. They're going wherever he does. So we have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable in those situations, right? I might not agree with it or wonder why he's going to do it, but he's consistent. So hopefully, you know what? We can just execute.
How about Hutch, though? We haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah, but they got him mixed around too. Bringing him from inside.
Yeah.
I noticed this too. I noticed this too, and it was brought up in the chat thread. Like Bruce Irvin got in there a couple times. Hutch gets the quarterback on the ground. Like, are we seeing something where some of these, other guys that are like when you plug a Bruce Irvin in, he's not going to play so many downs, but when you do it and he can let Hutch go off or whoever else, right? Mm-hmm. We're waiting on Houston to come back,
and Houston.
So there you go. But they're finding a way to step it up. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, what do we say? How can you argue? What do we say? It's not pressures, it's sacks now. So he's getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, in the biggest spot and look, like, because I had a couple friends text me. They're like, "Oh, what are you saying about Hutch now?" No, I was right. Like, we needed more, and when we got more, what happened? They won in Dallas. I know they didn't, but they did. They did win in Dallas. But no, it is. It's for me. I didn't like it. I didn't like going for the 2 from the 7, but I understand it. And here's why. Like, the people that are just like pounding the table saying, what is he doing? I can't believe this. This is reckless. Those are the same people, right? Have we not spent an entire weekend complaining about the officiating, especially in Dallas? Like, how much more data do you need? Take it out of their hands. Put it on you. Go make the play and go win the game, which they did. And they did, but they didn't. But still, though, with all that being said, what, BMG? It's true. It is true.
Very true.
But that's... I will stand by him with what he does. The fake punt, the going for it on 4th down. I will tell you this, too. The going for it on 4th down thing, since he's been here, they are at a plus rate in points. Going for it versus not going for it. Like kicking field goal, going for it versus kicking field goals and stuff like that. If you want to assume that every field goal's made that they passed up on, I guarantee you this: they are operating at a plus overall in points from him doing it, and that's all I've ever asked for. I wanted the Lions to do 2 things. Those are rookie numbers. You need to pump those numbers up.
Pump those numbers up.
I wanted the Lions to do two things. Number one, draft good players. That's what I wanted them to do. They started doing that. Then number two, I wanted them to start having a more analytically driven game plan. And they do. Possession of the football is the most important thing in the NFL. And they've done it. And I feel those are two reasons why they're a good football team and they used to suck.
No, absolutely. Taking care of the little things. And DNC brings up a great stat. In the last 2 years, 22 and 23, Hutch has 5 sacks in 2 games against Dallas. So big-time moments.
Good. Bring that again.
Bring that again.
Bring it again.
Absolutely.
Is anybody, low-key, before we go to the break, is anybody looking at that Dallas at Washington game going, this would be so Cowboys if they lost that game? Like I think, I know they're a 14-point favorite.
Jesus.
A 13.5-point favorite. But deep down, they're not a 13.5-point favorite in my mind in that game.
I mean, Washington's let up like 70 sacks this year. Like they're gonna destroy them.
It's in Washington too.
They're gonna destroy the Durs.
Yeah, they'll probably lose.
I got a weird feeling about that game.
Get right.
Not that weird.
Washington
money line? No, money line 4-1.
Jesus.
We gave you a 4-1. We gave you a 4-1 get right. Did we not, BMG?
Yes, we did.
Cashed it before Thanksgiving, I believe, right?
It hit with ease.
Listen, that's the kid over there, Kid Cash right now. This kid's riding some parlays like it's his job.
Cash in Gentry.
And then he even sprinkled it to his boy Hollywood.
Yeah.
Juicy Jeff Iafrady for some shekels this weekend. I like it when the boys are mixing it in.
No, good. It is too, by the way. Here's what I want to do, Spenny. I want to do what the playoffs look like now, because I think that's very, very relevant to talk about. Then we're going to do the rest in peace.
Sounds good.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Is that everybody agreeable to that?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it that way then. After DMAC, you tell them about Swiss Insurance.
Football's on the brain. We got one college football game left and a whole bunch of playoff football, week 18 of professional football. So fall is also the perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. So shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. Go see my buddy Mark or give him a call at Swiss Insurance today, 248-800-4177, or go online, SwissINS.com. Tell them Big D Energy we sent you.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrady, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Neal Ruhl here for Jack Labrador, born in a cold winter basement in Detroit. 3 buddies wanting more out of a game of rock, paper, scissors. They dug deep and they struck gold with Jack Labrador with 2 new symbols and a 3-point play. Once you go Jack, you'll never go back. 1 deck of cards, 3 new games of non-stop action. It's the perfect no-brainer stocking stuffer during your holiday season, which a lot of you did, by the way. So shout out to everybody that gave Jack Labrador a spin. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to jacklabrador.com and get your deck today. Keeping it pushing, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. It's a Rest in Peace Tuesday. We have that coming up for you next segment. But I did want to do this because it is very, very much relevant to the Detroit Lions. And we have to do this because there is only 5 days left of the NFL season, regular season.
Damn, that sucks.
We're closing the door.
Fuck.
Coming up. I know, but Spenny, it goes 0 to 100 real quick.
That's true. That is true.
You got to get out of that frame of mind, Spenny. That's an old Lions fan frame of mind.
That's true.
We got to get comfortable with this.
That still sucks. Football's almost over.
You know what Saturday night, real quick before I get into the playoff thing, you know what Saturday night showed me, D-Mac? But I got to figure it out. I have to do a better job. I don't know that I'm emotionally ready to sit there and watch a playoff game.
We literally only have a month.
You let your because here's the thing, Neal. You're always so busy, so you're like your fandom, right, doesn't get to be released as well.
Right.
So the fact that it was Saturday night, I'm sure you had a few libations. You let your guard down, and then you were totally in. So you've opened that part of your psyche up, of your fandom. So now you know that he's cracked into it, but your self-awareness too is that it's tough. I go through it. I see it every week here in the live stream. It's going to ebb and flow. Every Lions game ebbs and flows where you want to jump off the bridge at some point, but you stick to it, and that's where things are different. And you just got to trust the process. So, dude, you're in it.
Can we chat?
You
pull
can't
that
get
one?
back out of it.
Spenny, are you emotionally ready to handle a Lions playoff game? Yes or no?
Yep.
Do you think you are?
No.
If people are being honest, which they won't be, but if people are being honest, this should be 100-0. No,
Yeah.
it should be.
We've never had this much on the line.
And Saturday, realistically, there was like a lot on the line, like as far as a 2 seed and stuff like that. But there was a floor. Like if the trap door opened, you would just fall 2 feet and land on your feet and be like, oh, okay, that's it.
Yeah, you weren't getting hurt.
There's no net. Like in 2 weeks,
right?
We're walking the high wire with no net.
Yeah.
Oh I'm getting goosebumps thinking about that right now.
Yeah, because you're putting yourself in the conversation where you've always wanted to be, and that's in the playoffs, and that's hosting a home game. And that's because you know you have a good team, and you have one of the better teams in the league, and you got a team that can actually do something if they put it all together. Dude, are you excited? You guys are freaking me out a little bit, but I mean, there's no reason.
D-Mac, like I'm
this is
excited.
all gravy.
I'm excited.
You just can't. It sounds like, and maybe that's where people at. Do you not believe that we're here? Was it all like?
It was all a dream.
It was.
No, D-Mac, I'm excited, and I'm confident, and I'm scared, and I'm nervous.
Are you stoked?
And I'm stoked.
Okay.
And I'm terrified. Let's just get into it. Okay, let's just get into it. WoodwardSports.com chat poll. Are you emotionally ready to handle a Lions playoff game? 66% of you say yes. Spenny, this is the most. You guys are liars.
They're liars for sure.
Maybe they're with me. I'm stoked. I'm so stoked. I ain't scared. Especially after what happened.
You don't count. You played for Stanley Cups.
Listen, you ever been punched in the face? Right? That's exactly. Punched in the face and kicked in the nuts at the same time. That's what happened to him last week.
I don't know if that's happened to me.
No, but what happened to the Lions?
Yeah.
They got punched in the face and kicked in the nuts at the same time. And you know what? They're still standing. And you know what? Their mentality is that we can't get fucked any worse. And you know what? I'm going to sit there and I'm going to take everything. It's my responsibility. Why didn't we win? Because I didn't do enough. Whether it's Jared Goff, whether it's a play calling or whatever else. This is the greatest. I don't love the fact that it happened, but the fact that it did happen, it happened to this group. That's like resilient. That's like you're picking, like you just picked a fight with 4 brothers in Detroit, if you know the movie. They ain't backing down, bro. They're coming at you. You got Marky Wahlberg on the ice out in the middle of freaking the Detroit River. Okay? Like that's where we're at. That's Dan Campbell and these guys. So I don't know what you'd want, who else you'd want to lead you into this battle. Right? I mean, this is to me as the athlete putting myself in that locker room. I mean, you're so excited because it's almost you against the world. And I've been there. And
That's why you don't count.
And to accomplish that and to shove it up everybody's ass is the greatest thing ever. Where I can go around and absolutely do whoever I want, right? Because I got Dan Campbell should be preaching that you have that same opportunity, task at hand. But they won't. No, not for one bit do I think they're overlooking Minnesota and what they can do at home. This is sort of like the statement game to tighten it up, to be cleaner, to get those jobs done, to do those things that he was talking about, those little things. I think it's the perfect storm.
Well, D-Mac, as we peruse what the playoffs look like, and this is a fun little bit that we've done here throughout this kind of playoff chase. At the floor, the Lions are the 3 seed. Now, they would need a 13-point underdog to pop Dallas on the road to try to slide back in to that 2 seed. But if things go the way that they should go, according to the setup, it's pretty much set what it's going to be. You know, the Niners are locked in. They're the 1 seed. They got the bye. The Cowboys, you figure they'll be the 2 seed as long as they can win as a 13-point favorite. Lions obviously will have the 3. Tampa Bay's going to Carolina and playing Carolina. If they win, which they should, they're the 4 seed. They'll be the division champs. The Eagles will have to go to Tampa and play in the 4-5 game. The Rams are pretty much slotted into that 6 seed as it sits. Pretty much slotted, depending on what happens behind them. You have the Packers sitting there with the 7 spot right now, and they're tied with Seattle and New Orleans. Green Bay does have the tiebreak over Seattle based on strength of victory, wins a tiebreak over New Orleans based on best winning percentage in conference games. Seattle wins a tiebreak over New Orleans based on best win percentage in conference games. But if the playoffs started today, D-Mac, and I talked about like being nervous and scared and excited and all of that. It looks like I'm going to get what I asked for, D-Mac. And you're going to get that times 2. Because what you have to do, you have to go. And a good friend of mine told me this before. The only way is through.
The only way out is through.
The only way out is through. And they would have to go through Stafford and the Rams, coming here to Ford Field in the opening round of the playoffs. And then if they win that, they would be going to Dallas to play the Cowboys again. And you know what? Fuck it, let's go.
So if that's the pathway, who's comfortable with that? I am.
I'm fine
I want
with
it. I want it because obviously, and that's the beauty of what just happened last weekend. So yeah, I want all this smoke about and in it apropos that Matt Stafford's first playoff game will be on the road in Detroit, and we can hand it to him. So I'm fine with it. I have no problem. And they're playing good right now. Yeah. One of the better teams playing in the league with the record and stuff like that put themselves in this position, but I don't think it matters. And sometimes like this is give me the smoke, bring it, let's go, and that's why what happened to you last weekend, right? You're sort of impervious to how bad can it get, right? That's the worst that it can get. So I like the matchup. I like the fact that. I like it for the fans. I like it that at Ford Field, because it's going to be loud. I like that pathway. If you tell me right now that's put that in stone, I'll take it.
WoodwardSports.com chat poll. Are you emotionally ready to handle a Lions playoff game? 68% of you said yes. 67% of you are liars. But that's fine. Spenny, can we flash one real quick?
Hey,
Who you want to play in the playoffs? Rams or Packers?
Packers.
I want to play the Rams. I want to play the Rams. I want to put it all to bed. The playoff thing, the Stafford thing, all of it. I want to play the Rams, and I want to win, and I want to go to Dallas and shoot my shot.
I'm with you.
That's what I want, D-Mac. I've called for this for a while, and this is what I want. And to me, I still think that there's... You know what? Let me get this out, too. And I was going to save this till we saw what the matchup was, but in advance. And I'll remind everybody next week. if you're somebody that wore a Detroit Rams shirt during the Rams playoff chase to the Super Bowl, do me a favor, don't buy tickets to the game. Let a real fan.
That shit was so whack.
Let a real fan get to Ford Field for a playoff game. If you wore a Detroit Rams shirt, do the right thing and don't take up a ticket for the Lions playoff game. Let a real fan go in there and get it. That's my public service announcement. I'll remind you again next week.
Branson brings up a great point. We're talking about Stafford versus the Lions, but this is an opportunity for Goff against his old team that sort of gave up on him.
100%. No one's talking about that one.
Ransom, good pull.
Yeah, no one's talking about that one. I do. I want the Rams.
I do too.
70% of the people, 71% of the people say Rams. Wow, that's impressive. All right, when we come back, it's time to put people in the coffin. It's time for rest in peace when we return. But first, let me tell you guys, it's wintertime. We're in the mix right now. This is an El Nino winter, though.
El Nino.
So far, so good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, as far as winters go. But, hey, when it does snow and it does get cold, down-home comfort foods, you guys know what it is, at Big Boy. Try the veal parmesan, the Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, more of a breakfast kind of person. The stuffed potato pancakes are back. The classic, the lumberjack, the Santa Fe Garden is in play as well. Also new apple pie hotcakes that are too good to miss. Top it all off with the new gingerbread shake for dessert. Stop by your local Big Boy today, one of Newsweek's top restaurant chains of 2023.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Tired of the same old Detroit sports merchandise? We got you covered. WoodwardSports.com/shop. The Stoke Not Scared t-shirt. Get it. Get ready to ride for the playoff season. It's hoodie season. It's beanie season. Big Mike Gentry's got the hoodie on today. It's hoodie time, everybody. WoodwardSports.com/shop. Baseball, football, basketball, hockey. There's a Woodward Sports golf line as well. WoodwardSports.com/shop. Oh, yes, friends. It is time. I know we're back from the holiday break, but it is still a rest in peace Tuesday. We're putting people in the coffin. Who you burying today? Let's get into it. Anybody got conviction? Spencer Raxter. Yes, you in the corner. Spencer Raxter from Woodward Sports.
Yes, hello. Thank you, President Neal. I am going to RIP Brad Allen's bum ass and his thoughts of ever coming to the state of Michigan again. You're never getting back in within these fucking walls, man. You're done. You're on the no-fly list. Trick put you on there. You're never coming in this state again. So I hope you don't have any family here. I hope you don't have any plans of visiting our wonderful lakes, our very scenic forests. Don't ever expect to come back to the state of Michigan again, you bum. You are enemy number 1. Goodbye. Good day, sir. Good riddance. Never come back to the state, you fucking bum.
Rest in peace.
Damn. It was a good one, though.
That one wasn't like game related. That was personal.
Oh, strictly personal.
Well, it's personal. That little caveat too. Did you hear Better Made chips which originate in Detroit, put out a statement that they will not ship to the state of Texas unless you can prove you have a Michigan ID.
Hell yeah.
That's what, yeah.
That's the kind of petty I'm here for.
That is, when I heard that, dude, I go, wow, is Neal running better me now?
That'd be awesome.
I'll go next.
All right, there we go.
And this isn't, okay, because that's the easiest. Like, that's the one that deserves to be put in the body bag and everything. I agree 100%. But I'm going to put this is a walking towards the funeral. And it's not in there yet, but I'm telling you this. The Detroit Red Wings entering this 2024 play in San Jose tonight. Big, all across the NHL. I mean, I think that every team's playing, right? They played 37 games this year, which means they have 45 remaining. These next 10 games make or break this team.
Are the season.
This is the season, right? Next 10 games. And what do you need? You're probably still in it at 6-4, but you have to go 7-3 or better, right? Out of these next 10 games, you need 14 points. Out of these 20 points to put you back in the mix.
Oh, wow.
Why? You're 12th right now, and you're 3 points out of the playoffs, but there's 6 teams there, right? So you just got to take care. You got to take, and this is a tough stretch. You're in San Jose tonight. You got to go play the Kings. You're out west and stuff like this. So right now is the make it or break it. Can I stay involved? Almost, sort of like last year when they fought their way in. This is the biggest trip of the year. So they're not in the coffin, but you know what? We could be making plans, and it could be as soon as next week that they are. So unfortunately, that doesn't add on to my clock. But the clock is not dead. Please do not put my clock in your mouth.
It's something, D-Mac, that's really bothered me, how this has gone. And yesterday I was sitting around with the boys and we were watching the games, and just kind of, we were talking about the Pistons. And I said, man, when the Pistons have a lead, I've never seen leads evaporate more quickly than they do with the Pistons. And then my other buddy was like, well, the Red Wings. I was like, you're right, dude. Like, Jesus, man. Have you seen a team that can be up 4-0? And it's gone in like 4 minutes. It's wild.
And it always seems like there's a shorthanded goal that comes along with that, too. It's never just like a good goal or something. They're always giving up some bullshit that lets them back into the game.
Maybe we'll get into it tomorrow. Remind me, but I have something to bring to the table on that, and maybe too the why or how. When does it get fixed, or how does it get fixed?
Yeah, we'll do that later in the week for sure.
Exactly. Well, like, what are you looking for? But again, what are you talking about? You can't let 4 goals a game. When the stat is if you score 4 goals, you win, and if you don't, you lose. I mean, that's not a playoff team. That's not a winning team in this league. I mean, we all know that we had trouble keeping the puck out of the net. I mean, it's great to be able to score, but to win in this league, you need goaltending, and we don't have that right now, unfortunately. Who you got in the coffin?
Well, you want to go BMG or you want me to go? You go ahead, man. I'll go.
I'm going to fast forward to Sunday night, and this is a little early. We talked about it in the break. I am rest in peacing the Miami Dolphins. They're going to hand the division to the Buffalo Bills, red-hot Buffalo Bills. They've won 4 in a row. The Dolphins are banged up on defense. They kept Bradley Chubb in when they were down 30, and he ends up going out for the season. They lost Jalen Phillips. Xavier Howard isn't going to be healthy for this game. This is going to be a tough game for the Bills, the Dolphins, even though they're at home, and I have the Bills taking over the division. So rest in peace to the Dolphins.
Now they have their playoff spot clinched, though. The Dolphins are in the playoffs, but yes, the ship is taking on water.
But
there's no
question.
question.
Thought even 3 weeks ago that the Bills had a shot at the division, you would have been crazy. But
you want to hear wild, Mike Gentry? The Buffalo Bills can be the 2 seed in the AFC. Or they can be out of the playoffs. Yeah. That's all on the table this week.
Huge stakes for them. It's almost a playoff game, pretty much.
It's incredible, everything that's on the line for Buffalo. Like I said, they lose, they could be out of the playoffs, and it's very realistic because I believe they don't own the tiebreaker over the Colts. I believe with a loss, they would not own the tiebreaker over the Steelers or the Texans. What do you got?
I got some breaking news.
Okay.
It could be an RIP, but Isaiah Buggs just tweeted. thank you, Detroit, for amazing past year, and has been amazing from meeting new people, playing with great teammates. But the time has come for me to say goodbye. Detroit 96 out. So
making room for McNeal or C.J. Gardner-Johnson
or Houston
or Houston.
Like, I don't know why he'd be the person you cut. I don't understand.
It just, you know what?
There's
something
going
there
on in there because in and out of the lineup, stuff like this, he made himself sort of expendable. There's something there that we're not privy to. But I thought he did a good job when he was in there. You know what I'm saying? Big.
He
body
didn't see
boats.
eye to eye with somebody, and somebody didn't see eye to eye with him. You've been around. You and I have been around too many locker rooms.
And I gotta think it's AG.
It's somebody.
Yeah.
It's somebody.
Somebody that's got a little bit more power.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree. I would agree with that. I got one that's kind of out of the box, everybody. You ready for this one? And I'm calling the shot too. And this isn't right now. This is in the playoffs. And it's aggressive. I understand it's aggressive. But I just got that feeling. Rest in peace to the Kansas City Chiefs winning a Super Bowl this year. Put it in the coffin. They don't look right. They haven't looked right. They're 2-3 over their last 5. Mahomes doesn't look mercurial anymore. And above all that, they're going to have to do something they don't normally have to do. They're going to have to go on the road when things get tough. They're going to have to go to Buffalo this year, perhaps, if Buffalo wins that division.
Not believe
they're going to have to go to Baltimore
this year on the road. Yeah,
I do not buy in. It doesn't look right. It hasn't looked right. And rest in peace to the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. I'm not saying Mahomes sucks. I'm not saying the franchise sucks. In a vacuum, this year, rest in peace, Kansas City Chiefs this season, as far as winning the Super Bowl is concerned.
I don't think they're going to win a playoff game.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be stunned.
Right now, who's the best team in the NFL?
Ravens by far.
By far, right?
Yeah.
Ravens, Niners. Yeah.
Ravens, Niners. But
and I'll back this up, and I'll be consistent about it. And I love Lamar. You guys know that. I love Lamar. I thought the Ravens, we knew in the end the Ravens were going to give him this money because he's a great player. However, that being said, there are lots of consistencies with Lamar and Michigan to me. The time has come where you got to go get this done. And if you win an MVP again, which they say he probably will this year, if he wins another MVP, you have to go do this. Because what's the narrative if you don't? You never cleared the final hurdle.
Yeah, you haven't even reached Aaron Rodgers status yet.
You see what I'm saying?
You gotta get one.
Like that's why I love the NFL playoffs, because legacies are on the line.
And is that not the sort of what we're waiting? We know how great Lamar is, and MVP,
you're great.
But it's like, what can you do in the playoffs?
You got to get the final step now. That's you're in your second
sad?
contract. You're a $250 million guy. You're a multiple-time MVP. It's on you, bro. And I love you, but those are the stakes.
Think about this, right? When he's in that facility, who does he have to look at that got it done before him in Baltimore? Trent Dilfer.
Joe Flacco.
Right?
Who gets a $2 million bonus, by the way, if the Browns win the Super Bowl.
Okay, but again, with other, like, so he's still got, he hasn't reached that upper echelon, right?
No.
With like the Flacco still, he's got to walk by there every time.
See, this is one of those classic things where, like, Lamar with Joe Flacco is one of those classic things where maybe nationally Lamar carries more weight. But if you're a Ravens fan, you'll say Joe Flacco got it done.
Joe Flacco had one of the best postseasons of all time,
and that's it.
Right? Is this more so to the Stafford needing the Super Bowl? Like, is Lamar into where Stafford was right now with the Rams?
I mean, he's going to win his second MVP, so I think it would be a little past Stafford.
But okay, no,
he's kind of like Josh Allen.
You're right, but I'm just saying.
Right.
So Josh Allen, like, you got to prove it now. We know how good you are. But this takes you to that next, level, Hall of Fame level or whatever else.
Yeah.
Right? You need that Super Bowl. Because right now you're going to argue that Aaron Rodgers' career is better because he's got one.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
That's the way it works.
Yeah.
That's why the NFL playoffs are the greatest. Because, look, and Spenny, you know this, if Goff wins 2 playoff games, zero sum. It's a zero sum game. If he wins 2 playoff games, you got to put him up there as one of the greatest quarterbacks in Detroit history.
Oh,
you
yeah,
do.
for sure.
And you don't have a choice with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like Lamar winning the Super Bowl. If he wins a Super Bowl and he's a 2-time MVP.
He's the best Ravens quarterback of all time.
Ever.
Yeah.
He's one of the best quarterbacks ever.
Yeah.
And you start talking about him, he changed the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that whole narrative starts.
Yeah.
And he did it, and he'll get extra because of the lack of a running game. You know what I'm saying? Like perceived lack of a running game. And that's why I love it. And as you said,
Justice Hill looked pretty fucking good.
Justice Hill's nice with it.
Yeah.
No
Keaton
doubt.
Mitchell was really good until he got hurt, too.
And Gus Edwards, you can set your watch to the dude.
Gus Bus.
Yep. You can set your watch to the dude.
game.
But you know,
Likely. If Andrews is healthy, man, him and Likely, they'd probably be the best tight end combination in the NFL.
Yeah, Likely's nice,
Yeah,
man.
he is.
He's very, very good. But yeah, I like the comp to Josh Allen. Lamar's a little bit further down the highway than Josh Allen.
Yeah.
However, the clock is still ticking. It's going to be ticking on Allen because I believe his extension kicks in next year.
It does.
Like now you're a vet, and now you're running out of time. It's funny how fast it changes. But that's why I love the NFL playoffs, man. That's why I love Guardian Alarm, too. They protect your legacy.
Yeah, and there's only one person that they won't. Brad Allen, don't even try to call Guardian Alarm. But everybody else, you know Guardian Alarm's here to offer you customized solutions. Professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. But I need you to call Guardian Alarm today. The number 1-800.
Stay out.
24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night. No other Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as it's needed, but I need you to call the number. 1-800.
Stay out.
Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work in people who have been proven to care. Whether it's business, whether it's pleasure, Guardian Alarm does not care. They just want you to call. They got your back. The number, 1-800.
Stay out.
Stay out of Michigan, Josh. What's
Brad Allen.
Brad Allen.
You bum.
Bozo.
Spenny said it perfectly.
Yeah.
Bozo. No bozos allowed. Guardian Alarm, local security experts. Tell them Big D Energy. We sent you.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Ave, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today. Find the brand you want, lesstanford.com.
Keeping it pushing. Coming down the stretch here, Big D Energy on a Tuesday. Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl and D-Mac and BMG and Spencer Raxter. Spenmo Rax here in the house. But yeah, Isaiah Buggs sent out the tweet. Thank you, Detroit, for everything in the past year. It's been amazing, for meeting new people, playing with great teammates, but the time has come for me to say goodbye. Detroit 96 out. So there is that. And again, just going back to it, it seems very apparent that there is a disconnect between Isaiah Buggs and somebody in the locker room. It's unfortunate because he more than ratified what Terry Foster said you need to be a good football team. He said you need a white guy with long blonde hair, right?
Yep.
We have that, Alex Anzalone. He also said you need a defensive lineman with a big ass.
Yes, he did.
And no ass was bigger than Isaiah Buggs.
That
So
is true.
from
Well,
that standpoint, D-Mac, he'll be missed.
Maybe Broderick Martin, but he doesn't play anyways.
Right.
No, there's somebody's got to step up, but obviously there's something bigger. We'll wait to hear, but it sounds like there's a disagreement because it's sort of rumblings all year, right? In and out of the lineup. Not the first time we questioned what was going on with Buggs, so I'm sure it'll come out in the wash, and tomorrow, Broder, when he's down there to practice, when they're back at practice because they're off today, that he'll get the dealio.
Yeah, absolutely. And just out of curiosity, Buggs was on a 1-year deal, I believe.
I think so.
I believe. We'll check it out and make sure on that. But yeah, I believe he was on a 1-year deal. But
that just tells you guys are coming back, right? Like guys are getting healthy, whether it's C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Lee McNeil, whoever, they need room. They need room for guys. We saw that last week. Didn't Chase Lucas get cut and then put on the practice squad? So it's that time of the year.
All right, so Buggs was on a 2-year, $4.5 million contract. $2.1 million was guaranteed at signing. He had a cap hit this year of $1.7 million, so you lose just over $400,000 on your cap for next year. So it must have been something pretty serious. Again, for him not to play versus the production we saw from him at times, but it's what Brad Holmes did. Anybody going to question it? I'm not. Sad, but I'm not.
Oh, again, you got to trust in Holmes.
100%. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. King Yehuda, you have a better chance of hitting the Powerball than Goff and the Lions do of winning 2 games in the playoffs.
Well, somebody from Grand Blanc did. Whatever the 800 and whatever was sold up in Grand Blanc, 1 ticket. So
or Grand Blanc.
Grand Blanc.
God. Why can't that be me, man?
Did you play?
No.
Well, that's the main reason.
That would probably be the reason why.
That's fair, but still.
You got to get in on it, man.
Mr. Beast, let me get $1 million.
Holler at your boy here. WoodwardSports.com chat thread Catspot. That's a bad take by Neal. Allen has been way better than Lamar in the playoffs. Catspot, it doesn't matter.
As long as you do, if none of them has won.
Right. Again, that's why the NFL playoffs to me are great. There is nothing in sports that has more to do with your legacy than the NFL playoffs.
Win or go home.
And if you don't, you're a bum. Period. End of story, man. Like that's exactly what it is. So, D-Mac, did we get anything like settled here today? I think the people want to see the Rams, right? I think that's what the chat said.
Yeah, I think everybody's comfortable with going Rams and then having to go to Dallas, if that's the case. But you also, there might be something to it because, I mean, when you talk rivalries, right? Remember how when we were growing up, the Dallas Redskins rivalry, like that was heated, So if there's anything that the Redskins can do to come out, I still don't think that Dallas is going to beat them, but you have the opportunity.
Shout out to Dan Wood. He just sent me $2 for Powerball tickets.
Get it in, Spenny.
Who don't you want to play? First round, because am I right that if it plays out this way?
I'm not. There isn't anybody like as far as first round people go.
Yeah.
Like I'm not scared of any of them.
Not scared of Green Bay.
Because if you don't beat them, then what are we talking about?
Right. And you're at home, so it doesn't matter who you got.
And I got to be consistent with it too. And that's where the rubber's really going to meet the road. Where in the playoffs, D-Mac, you're in and there's expectations. You have to win or it's a failure.
Yep.
All of it's a failure.
Mm-hmm.
I'll stand right up and look in this camera. If the Lions do not win a playoff game this year, this season's a failure. Yes, it is. This is the waters you're in now, D-Mac. We all said we wanted the smoke, right? We all want to win the division and get in there. These are the waters you're in now. Now there's expectations. And if you do not meet them, it's a failure. Period. End of story. And that's what, being consistent about the Michigan thing. If they don't win the Natty, it's a failure. It just is. Mike Gentry even said it. You're still okay. There it is. There's a verbal cue from Mike Gentry. Like the Rose Bowl was fun and everything. It doesn't matter if you don't cash it in. Same deal with the Lions. If they don't win a playoff game, it's a failure, D-Mac.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says.
But look at what both teams have done. They put themselves at that
In the position.
game. In the position. And that's all you can ask for right now.
No, absolutely. So I do want when we come back, D-Mac, I do want to talk about it for a couple. The Red Wings thing. I just want a couple sentences. Like, what is the problem? It's not Husso being like, and BMG. I want to get your thoughts too. Just explain to me, because I've been broken for real. Because now you got.
Well, here, let me start, Neal. We will talk about. Let me start with how to unbreak yourself.
Okay,
or if you're
thank you.
broken out there, maybe you could use this, because this is why I'm in such a great mood. Start the year lifted. Visit Dispo Dispensary today for exclusive new deals. Experience Dispo Dispensary, a team that curates an unbelievable atmosphere mixed with fresh inventory from Michigan's largest variety of cannabis products. Come through our stores or order on Dispo today. New year, new deals. Same plug. Dispo Dispensary, DispoShops.com. Your local cannabis plug.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Sports is Spenny's new favorite long drink. Live this Sunday for the official VIP tailgate party. Easter Market, shed number 5, always a bash. Starts about 9:30. The Lions tailgate back better than ever. Wouldn't you like to be treated like a VIP? Food, beverages, entertainment, everything. You know how to do it. Visit bullseyeeventgroup.com today or win some for Woodward Sports today. Just subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on Instagram and direct message Lions VIP.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. You know what, D-Mac? I lied. We'll do the Red Wings tomorrow. I want to take a set. I don't want to shoehorn it into 4 minutes, all right?
Well,
but tomorrow I need a
win
therapy
tonight.
sesh.
Yeah, exactly. Bottom line, the only thing is I've never seen as many soft goals let in the last month, and you can't win.
I need a therapy sesh.
And they do way too many lineup changes. Way too many. They're trying to be the smartest guy in the room always, it seems like. When stuff was working at the beginning of the season, you didn't see that, and then now it seems like every game you have a new line or a new defensive pair playing together, new power play unit, new forward unit. Just a lot of juggling.
We'll
get to it tomorrow.
We'll do it tomorrow. Some breaking hockey news as well. Canada upset by the Czech Republic at the World Juniors. So Canada's as they would say.
Yeah. My cousin Issa Cowan, first rounder to the Toronto Maple Leafs, be disappointed.
Isn't USA winning by like 10 goals in every game they play? I know
they should be. They're playing Latvia today.
Yeah. They were up like 3-1 when
cleaning up.
They beat somebody 13-2 or something like that.
It happens in the World Juniors.
Yeah.
Who they play? Estonia or something?
I can't remember. Who
Canary
it was.
Islands?
China.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, cleaning up a couple of these. Derek R. Can that Powerball winner buy you the same equipment that Ermanni and Edwards get? No.
Cool.
There's not, the jackpot's not big enough.
No holiday today.
No? Yeah, they'll be here today.
Yeah.
They'll have a new headset for this booth by the time it's 2 o'clock, too.
Did you see the poll? What are your thoughts on the poll?
Oh, yeah. Who would you rather fight in a cage match? 2 prime Mike Tysons or a gorilla with no arms? I'm gorilla with no arms.
Gorilla with
Easy.
no arms all day,
I'm
bro.
going prime Mike Tyson's.
Why?
because you can at least kick him in the nuts. Like
You can't kick 2 prime Mike Tysons in the nuts.
Even a gorilla
Spenny,
with
you're
no arms is ripping your head off.
Nah, I feel like, how's it going to get a hold of you?
It's got feet arms.
He's going to shit in his foot.
Yeah, he's got feet arms and his teeth. Like,
Spenny just told, hey, you believe Spenny's not scared of Mike Tyson?
I'm more scared of a gorilla than I am Mike Tyson.
But a gorilla with no arms.
Yeah. That's a huge disadvantage.
That's 2 Mike Tysons in his prime.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's going to knock you out, knock you back conscious, then knock you out again.
Shoot, I think I would do a gorilla with no arms over 1 prime Mike Tyson.
No way.
Yes.
No way. 1,000% taking 1 prime Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson's more crazy than the gorilla.
I don't think so. But it's close, for sure.
WoodwardSports.com chat
Gorillas are
thread.
like a top 3 most
Well, Mike,
scary
hey,
animals.
somebody, God hates cowards. Says gorillas can bite too. Well, so can Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson can too. That's fair.
You know I was at that fight with Proby, right?
Yes.
12 rows.
For real?
When Holyfield bit his ear. I turned to him the first time. I said, Proby, you just bit him. He goes, no way, Mitzi. There's no biting in boxing. And then he did it again. He goes, he just bit him. 12 rows right
That's
there.
awesome.
Yeah.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. I'll allow it, Mike G. I'll allow it, Mike G. and Gentry, because you guys are buzzing right now. But Mike G, R.I.P. Saban inventing the game of football. He's still got 6 national championships.
Nick Saban's a fantastic coach. Can't say anything about it.
Yeah.
He's won 6 of the last 14 national championships, everybody. Calm down. Although it's the 3rd year in a row for his first time at Bama. They're not playing for the national title.
Damn.
Clearly he's washed. Clearly it's over. I should have done rest in peace, Nick Saban. Clearly the game's passed you by.
Mike G said Kosher could take Iron Mike. No.
On the ice. I don't think Mike can stand up skating.
Yeah. That's fair.
All right, I think we've done about all the damage that we can do. Tomorrow we are going to get into the Red Wings theme. I want to do a little bit deeper dive. What do you got, BMG?
Top 5.
Top 5.
Oh, that's right.
What were we doing?
Top 5 fingers.
Fingers, yeah.
I didn't even know that, but that
My buddies reminded me of that yesterday. They're like,
a good
top
one.
5 fingers, really?
Yeah,
like, exactly.
Shocker.
hell yeah.
I got to go deep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
I do
deep.
too. It's tougher than you think. Rank
it's an
your
easy one.
fingers.
Shocker. Number 1.
Stunner.
Reverse shocker. Number 2.
But what's the more valuable finger? Never
beat
mind.
winner.
You almost hooked me
That's
right there.
almost like Jack Labrador. That's almost Jack Labrador.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You got me. You got me right there. You got me right there. I almost.
Save it for tomorrow. That's a good thing you're a pro.
Oh, yeah.
I walked right up to the line and said nope, and turned around and walked backwards.
That's fair.
I'm too veteran for that.
Well, we know Gentry will have the corner on the softness.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a great segment for me.
Real cream of wheat. Y'all haven't won this much to have this much obnoxiousness. I'll give it to them today. Real
I
cream
have.
of wheat. They're feeling it. So.
I have.
Yeah, they deserve it.
Yeah, why not?
They won. To
Enjoy.
the winner goes the spoils.
Enjoy. But let's seriously, what did we learn today? Somebody needs to teach Sam Flannel how to sally properly.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
That's the moral. All right, everybody. We'll do it again tomorrow for D-Mac, for Big Mike Gentry, Spencer Raxter. My name's Neal Ruhl. Thanks for tapping in. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.